All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've posted a video, but things have been real busy as far as my other businesses. And well, the good news is we're getting onto a very exciting project. Look at this old Frankenbuggy. Yeah, I made the decision the other day that well, I went ahead and I got the adapter plate for this ABA. Was this thing out of a Jetta, right?
Yeah, Jetta Golf.
Jetta Golf motor. So we picked that up a few months ago, got the adapter plate, and we're deciding we're going to go through it. We got some oil to put in it, and I want to make sure oil's pumping, and then we're going to do a compression test, and then if everything goes good with this motor, we're going to go ahead and put it in the back here. A couple of things we've acquired over the last couple of months on this is we got the radiator there. I need to mount the radiator, and so I basically want to get the motor in there and mock everything up. We got the fuel pump,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have to go to
We have that intake too.
the intake. Yeah, we'll bring that out on the next clip. But right now, let's dump some oil in it, get this thing turning, and we'll make sure some oil's flowing, make sure we got good compression. But the motor seems real clean and tight. There's no wear on the cam lobes. So yeah, this is gonna come together. We're gonna get this thing going. I'm gonna go get that air cleaner. Take it all?
That takes 4.
Okay. So I went ahead out into the garage and got the air cleaner set up. This is one of those tornado type things here. The air goes in there, swirls around, so it knocks the dirt to the outside of it before it goes through the filter. So it's for off-road racing. It's to keep it nice and clean. But as you can see, where to put it. And that
It'll be on this side.
Yeah, we're not even sure where the intake's going to be on this side.
Yeah.
Now, the throttle body, that points to the front.
No, actually,
That goes over the
it does
top.
this, so yeah, it would be right there.
So yeah,
No, wait. Points forward.
yeah, points forward. So we'll have to do a U-turn into that
Yeah,
box.
we'll figure something out.
Yep. So that's why we're working on the whole mock-up before I get to fabrication. One thing I want to do is I'm gonna have to build some mounts for the back of the motor here and tie it into the bumper. So yeah, let's make sure this motor's going to be worth all the work. We're going to do a compression test right now and see if the oil's going.
Let's see if,
We probably got to hook the jump box out. That thing's dead.
yeah.
So anyways, we'll be back when this thing's turning, and let's see some oil flow, and then we'll do the compression test. lower that. Okay. How's that one? Are you lined up? Lower, 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 lower. Okay.
Oh, now, see this one?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, for some reason things need to be crooked.
Well,
Okay, go ahead and jack it up.
remember I told you that engine's not.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Well, guys, this is another episode of Lessons Learned. We had the sedan transmission bolted up to the motor, and we hit the starter motor, and the starter motor was hitting the flywheel. Bop, 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 bop. I'm like, oh shoot. So I'm like, well, did I get the wrong adapter kit here, or what's going on here? And I measured the bell housing of the bus transmission, and it's actually a 1/2 inch thicker, wider than the sedan. So I'm gonna try it again, and you guys are here with me. I haven't tried it yet. Let's give this a shot and see if this motor will turn. Give her a little juice here. That doesn't look like it's turning. No, that doesn't turn. The motor isn't turning. So, problems are continuing. Well, we're going to have to pull this motor back out and see what's going on. I wonder if that the flywheel might need to be clearanced on the inside of that bell housing. I had to do that with I think it's the blue buggy. So if we see teeth marks on the inside of that bell housing, we'll know. All right, back out with the motor. Well guys, just like the old blue buggy, this bell housing is going to take a little clearancing. It doesn't look real bad, but you can definitely see teeth marks there, scoring up there. I mean, that's pretty much a gouge up there. So this area of the bell housing was definitely rubbing, and we don't want any rubbage, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that out, put this motor back in, see if we can't get it to turn. I'll be back in a jiffy. Yeah, got some work to do. All right, guys. Well, between this industrial die grinder, I picked that up at a yard sale for about 20 bucks, and I took the bulk of the material off with that thing there because this was a little sketchy getting this flappy disc inside there, but I smoothed it out a little bit with this guy here. Got some material out of there, and I think you can see what the die grinder did. It left it a little bit rough, but you know, who's gonna see it when this thing's flying through the desert at 100 miles an hour? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's put this motor back in here and hopefully it turns. Yeah, that would be nice to see. All right, guys. Well, I put the motor in, tighten the top up, and there was a little gap on the bottom there. Checked to see if it turned, and it turned fine. Hooked up the starter motor, and it was turning just fine. Obviously we got some oil pressure. That old gasket, it's leaking, so I gotta take that apart tomorrow and fix that up. Tighten the bottom up all the way and it wouldn't turn. So I looked in the instructions. The instructions said that on specific years of transmissions, the input shaft needs to be trimmed about 1/2 inch. So as I tighten the motor up all the way, it's basically pushing everything over and jamming it up. So motor's coming back out right now, and I'm going to do a little trimming, regrind the taper on the end of that shaft, and we'll try it again. Yeah, we'll get it going. All right, guys. Well, as much as I hated taking a auto transmission, but that's a 1/2 inch there, took it off, tapered it down. So yeah, this is all clearance, nice. I mean, I definitely saw some teeth marks there, so that was another issue had to be taken care of. But I don't see any problems now. So I can put that motor back in there and tighten her up, and let's see if it'll turn. And it's dumping some oil.
Yep. We got some kinks to work out.
Yeah. Well, we put the old gasket there, and that's just pouring out of there. But that tells us
There's oil pressure.
we got oil pressure. And it's all tight now, so all the clearancing is done. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be working. I really think, don't you think, Bobby, I need to do like a motor plate or some mounts here, because I think this thing's a little bit heavier than a standard VW motor hanging off the end there. So a motor plate going to the bumper to hold it there, so when I go flying off of jumps, it doesn't break the bell housing. And then we do some trick fabrication. We got the cooling system and the air intake system to do.
figure out fuel too.
Fuel system.
And these are the ins and outs.
That's the fuel rail, ins and outs of that. That's the regulator?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the plugs look really good. So whatever mixture was going in there was good. No oil getting burned. So yeah, I think we're on our way to having Frankenbuggy running. Let's get that going.
Yeah, in there.
All right, I'm gonna be back to work tomorrow, and we'll get more done. It's about dinner time, and I'm an old guy. I got to get my rest. We'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, guys. Day number 2 on Frankenbuggy's mountain of the motor. And what I'm going to take care of today, as we saw yesterday, this here's leaking here, so I'm going to take that apart. It has one of those gaskets that have like a little rubber seal on it, but it was worn out, so I'm going to put a little smear of silicone on it and get that tight. Temporarily pull the battery out of the buggy there and hook up the switch here, so I can just hit a switch and turn it. And then I want to do a compression test before we put too terribly much into this motor. Let's make sure it's tight. We know we have oil pressure, so that's a good thing. And the spark plugs, they look really good. So this thing was burning nice. All 4 plugs got a nice tan color to them. Very nice. So all indications are that this is a good motor, but I'm going to do a compression test, and that'll be it for this video. On the next video, I'm looking at the radiator there, and I actually want to lower that down. 2 things. I want to be able to have some rear view out the back there, and it's also blocking my tail lights there. So what I need to do, and I have, this is 5 or 6 inches right here, I can move this gas tank back a bit and be able to slide the radiator then down. Now Bobby eventually wants to put a turbocharger on this thing, which means at some point we're going to have to put an intercooler on here, and that might go diagonally on top of the gas tank, or we do have all this space down below here to run the intercooler. So that's a future thing. What we're going to do right now, we're going to get this thing running with the motor that we have, no forced air induction, and just to get it running. We got the motor, let's get it running. It won't take a whole lot. We do got to get a ECU, engine control unit, that has what's called something deleted there. One of you guys can remind me. I was looking at it last night. Immunization, mobilization, whatever that is. I'm not a computer guy. But immobilizer, yeah, immobilizer delete is what we need for this motor to function. It's some kind of anti-theft device or something, and if it's not deleted, this thing will never run. So anyways, those are ECUs. You can get them pretty cheap on the internet, and then we'll wire this baby up and get her running. But for now, I'm going to fix the oil leaks and do a compression test. I want to see what kind of compression we get out of these cylinders. So I'm going to get busy, and I'll bring you back in a little bit, get further along here. We'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, I got all the oil system sealed up. I hope. We're going to find out if I don't. And we're going to be checking the compression right now. So I got it all wired up to the starter, so all I have to do is hit that button over there and the motor will be turning. My assistant Bobby,
Yep,
he'll be doing it. All right, let's check this out. Hopefully it's got some good compression. I don't know what these things have stock. 150 range maybe. Ready? Where'd that put us?
100.
That's 100 pounds.
I mean,
So 150 was a fantasy? We'll see.
I'm sure these rings are no longer
As tight as they need to be. But, you know. Well, it's nice how clean these spark plugs are. I mean, they're not...
Well, this thing hasn't ran and gone on so long.
Ready for the next one?
Yep.
At 100?
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's even all the way across, then we've got a tight motor. Or equally loose. Right?
Yep. That's 135.
135. I'm sure just running this thing will make it better too. I don't know how long this thing's been sitting around. I mean, that guy that I got it from had it sitting in the back of a van for God knows how long. Ready?
130.
130. So we got two slightly down and a couple where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think it's good enough to run.
It'll run.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Bobby.
Oh yeah.
And thanks, Turbo, for watching over things. Anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to leave this video. We pretty much know where we are. A couple of cylinders are down comparatively to two others. But like I said, once it runs, heats up, maybe cleans up, it'll all even out. But it's good enough to run right now. Now, next thing I do have to do, I'm going to get the cooling system all put together. But what that is going to entail, like I said in the last clip, so I'm going to move that gas tank forward so I can drop that radiator down a bit. Get the cooling system go, then we'll start working on the running. Got to get the intake all together, computer. Still lots to do, but we'll get it done. We'll be driving old Frankenbuggy in no time. Let's just take a quick little look at this beautiful piece of off-road art. I love this car. I've been working on it for so long, but it's been fun. The process of building has been just a joy for me. So anyways, guys, we'll see you on the next one. We're going to keep at it till we're driving Frankenbuggy.